We live in societies that are, well, incredibly policed, don't we?
Oh, absolutely. Constantly monitored, measured.
Yeah, and fined. I mean, think about the smallest things. Drop a napkin in a park, you could face a fine.
Right. Or drive just, a tiny bit over the speed limit.
And bam,
Yeah.
a penalty that might genuinely cost you close to a month's salary. It's huge.
We follow these rules mostly because the consequences are so clear and, well, immediate.
So what's fascinating then is this huge exception, this massive area of life with almost no rules.
Relationships, the very core of everything, really. Our hopes, our emotions, our future plans.
All poured into them. And yet, legally,
Hmm.
unless there's violence or something truly awful and provable.
There's basically nothing. No framework to speak of.
It's astonishing, isn't it? You could be with someone for, say, 8 years. You build a life. They maybe turn down other opportunities because of you.
Mm-hmm.
And then one evening, you just say, look, I've met someone else.
And you can just walk out. By morning, you're gone.
And legally, zero, nothing. The person left behind. They just have to, well, cope.
Pick up the pieces of a life that's just been completely shattered. Weep, lose their minds, try to figure out what's next.
And that void, that lack of legal rules, that's what we're diving into today.
Because, just because there aren't laws doesn't mean there isn't morality.
Exactly. It means the rules are different. They're enforced by something else.
Something more personal. We're calling it the Tribunal of Ordinary Decency.
Yeah, I like that. It's like this host of unspoken but essential ethical rules. Things that, well, decent people understand about the pain involved in ending a bond.
Mm-hmm.
So our mission today is exploring that. What does it really mean to keep your humanity when you're causing maybe the worst pain someone will ever feel?
And it starts, really, with respecting something fundamental, something you can't give back.
Time. And their value, their worth as a person.
Right. So rule number 1 in this unwritten code, if you have to leave, you have to inflict that hurt. That's unavoidable. But you absolutely must not make it worse by stealing any more of their time than is necessary.
Stealing time. It sounds dramatic, but it's real, isn't it?
It is. And it requires a pretty serious calculation about their future.
Often means putting your own convenience aside.
Right.
It might be easier for you to wait.
Yeah, like, oh, let's just get through this holiday, or I'll do it after this work project. But while you're delaying, you're actively ignoring the clock ticking on their life, their actual real-life possibilities.
And that's where the theft really hits home. Maybe your partner has like a limited window for big life things.
Crucial things, irreversible things, like wanting to marry or the biological clock for starting a family.
Or maybe shifting a career they put on hold for the relationship.
So the ethical rule here is just stark. The very moment genuinely know it's over for you.
That's the moment you have to tell them.
Yes. Not after the vacation, not when the lease runs out, now.
Because delaying isn't being kind. It's actually compounding the hurt.
It is. On top of the abandonment itself, you're robbing them of a future, of chances they can't get back, opportunity costs.
And this theft of time and worth.
Yeah.
It can escalate, can't it? Which brings us to betrayal. Rule 3, maybe. Avoid betrayal.
Right. Let's be realistic. Human minds wander, especially if a relationship is breaking down, thoughts of others might surface.
Sure, that can happen.
But ethically, there's very little obligation to act on those thoughts while you're still in the relationship, if you're already leaving mentally.
Leaving is painful enough. Don't add infidelity to it.
Exactly. Don't add the discovery, the lies, the sheer misery of betrayal on top of the abandonment. That's just needlessly cruel.
It changes the nature of the pain, doesn't it? From loss to like a complete destruction of their reality.
It signals they weren't even worth the truth, that their trust meant nothing. It's toxic.
Don't add that layer.
Which really brings us to a kind of fundamental requirement for an ethical partnership. Rule 2, let's call it.
Okay.
You must adore them immeasurably or get out of the way.
Whoa, hang on. That sounds really black and white. Adore them or leave. Don't relationships have, ups and downs, doubts?
They do. Of course they do. Fleeting doubts are normal.
So are we saying any little thought of, could I do better, means you have to bail?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that throwing away potentially good things?
It sounds harsh when you phrase it like that, I know. But think about the alternative. Why is this binary important? It's about respecting their value.
Okay.
If you're not truly deeply proud of the person beside you, if in the back of your mind you're sort of waiting, keeping your options open, then ethically you need to let them go. So someone else who will feel that complete pride can find them.
So this is the plan B scenario.
Yeah.
The person who's just filling time until someone better shows up.
Precisely. If your partner is your fallback, your plan B,
Yeah.
you have to realize you're occupying a space in their life, a crucial space.
You're keeping them from finding someone who sees them as plan A, their unquestioned first choice.
Exactly. And the behaviors often show it, don't they? The hedging, the vague future talk, not integrating them fully into your life.
Keeping them in limbo.
Yeah. So the rule cuts through that. Adore them fully. Or recognize you're blocking their path to happiness, and if you are, you shouldn't stay.
Okay. So from time and worth, we move to truth
Yeah.
and the cowardice of being vague.
Yes. Rule number 4, own the exit. This is about avoiding a particularly cruel kind of manipulation.
Which is,
Forcing the other person to end it when you're the one who wants out.
I've seen this. The slow fade, the lukewarm treatment.
Calculated ambivalence. Little digs, emotional distance, pulling back intimacy, just making things generally miserable.
Until the partner who is still invested just can't take it anymore, they leave for their own sanity.
Exactly. They exit for their own survival.
And why do people do this? It seems so passive-aggressive.
To avoid guilt, plain and simple. They don't want to be the one who officially ended it. The bad guy.
So they manipulate the situation, make the other person feel like they were the one who couldn't handle it or wanted out.
Yes, they make them doubt their own reality, their own feelings, when all along the lever made the relationship impossible.
So the ethical thing.
Is for the person wanting out to say it clearly, I'm not happy, this isn't working for me anymore, I need to leave. Don't hand the guilt over to them.
Which flows right into the next rule, number 5, about providing a coherent explanation.
Oh, this is crucial. Leaving someone without telling them why, that pain gets amplified massively. It feels random, meaningless.
Because they can't process it. They don't know what went wrong.
Exactly. The mind just loops endlessly. Boundless rumination. Was it something I did? Can I fix it? Maybe they'll change their mind.
They can't grieve properly because they're still fighting the unknown reason.
Right. So the explanation isn't really for you, the leaver. It's for them. It's structurally necessary for them to eventually heal.
So what does a coherent explanation look like? Not just, it's not you, it's me, presumably.
Definitely not. It needs to pass what I call the middle of the night test.
Okay.
Is it strong enough, clear enough to quiet those looping thoughts when they wake up at 3 a.m. 6 months down the line?
I see. It needs substance.
Yes. It needs to explain why it simply cannot work and won't work in the future. Be direct. If you're mature enough for the relationship, you're mature enough to state plainly why you need to end it. No vague platitudes.
That clarity. It's the final act of respect, really, for their healing.
It is. And once that hard truth is out there, we get to the last part, which might be the hardest.
The aftermath. What you do after you've ended it. Rule 6.
Yeah.
Allow them to dislike you.
Yeah, this one feels really counterintuitive, doesn't it?
It does. Why would being ethical mean you stop trying to be nice?
Because, strange as it sounds, the person you left needs to build up some resentment, some anger.
Why? What good does that do?
It's often the fuel they need to detach. That anger, that feeling of injustice, it helps them psychologically pull away and rebuild their sense of self.
So if you hang around being super nice, trying to be best friends immediately.
You deny them that fuel. You make it harder for them to cut the cord. Often that niceness is really about protecting your own self-image. You want to feel like you handled it well, kindly.
But you're actually prioritizing your comfort over their healing process.
Precisely. You have to be willing to step back, let them be angry, accept, even temporarily, that you might be the villain in their story right now. They need that space.
Which means not texting all the time, not constantly checking in.
Which leads perfectly to Rule 7, get out of their way.
Okay.
Ambiguous contact after a breakup, it's just disastrous for their recovery.
Because every little interaction can be misinterpreted.
Totally. Every sweet gesture, every just checking in call, it risks being seen as a sign of hope. A hint that maybe things aren't really over.
To keep them stuck in that awful state of uncertainty.
Look, they have friends, real friends who can support them unconditionally. They don't need you, the person who caused the pain, hovering around being this ambiguous figure.
Making them constantly question where they stand.
Right. So the final, maybe toughest, ethical sacrifice here is sometimes you just have to let yourself be forgotten. For their sake.
Wow. That's a lot to take in.
It is, but it all circles back to that main idea, doesn't it? Rule 8, if you like. These rules exist.
Even if they're not written down in law books like traffic fines.
Exactly. Don't pretend they don't exist. The Tribunal of Ordinary Decency, our own conscience, really recognizes them. And we should too.
So the core message, the ask,
Right.
it's about retaining your humanity, isn't it? Through maybe the most difficult, painful thing you'll ever do to another person.
It's a massive test of character, right when emotions are at their highest.
Yeah.
And maybe there's a slightly selfish motivation in there too, right?
How so?
Well, if you follow this code, you're not just doing it for them, you're conducting yourself in a way you'd hope, you'd pray, someone else would do for you.
If, or maybe when, your turn comes to be on the receiving end.
Exactly. Because it probably will at some point.
So perhaps the final thought to leave people with is this. If we can manage to act with this kind of decency in the most unregulated emotional part of our lives, what does holding on to that humanity look like elsewhere, in our jobs, our casual interactions, even with strangers? Where else does the Tribunal of Ordinary Decency apply?